As anyone who's been on Sweetwater, Reverb, or MusiciansFriend can tell you, gear gets expensive and fast. I'm looking at you, Neumann. And with so many options and such a wide spectrum of prices, it can be difficult to know what to buy. Well, let's see if we can't change that. Today, we're going to be comparing a cheap, standard mic you've probably seen before to a higher end mic, well suited for a home or semi-pro studio. Hi, I'm Logan Duvall, one of the co-founders of Roseflower Records, a channel dedicated to supporting independent artists, musicians, and creatives. Today, we're going to be talking microphones. While there are hundreds of options to compare, the two mics we will be looking at today are the Shure SM57 and the Blue Baby Bottle SL. The SM57 is our cheap option, coming in at a retail price of $100. However, used, you can easily find them for $50 or less if you're lucky. They're the standard live mic, and if you've been to a show in the last 20 years, you've probably seen one before. The Baby Bottle SL is our expensive option, coming in at a retail price of $400. While it's not the most expensive mic out there, it's certainly a lot if you're an independent artist building your home studio. Let's talk specs for a moment. While these microphones have their differences, they also share some similarities. They both record with a cardioid polar pattern, which means they record with a sort of heart/butt shaped pattern in front of the microphone. This is especially useful in many instances, especially in situations where you may be recording with more than one instrument in a room. However, there are two key differences that really set these microphones apart, the first of which being the frequency response. For those of you who don't know, the human ear can hear frequencies in a range of 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz. Most high-quality microphones match that frequency range to make sure no audible sound is lost, which is the case with the Baby Bottle SL. The SM57, however, only has a frequency range of 40 Hz to 15,000 Hz. Keep that in mind as you are listening to the comparisons coming up. The other key difference is that the SM57 is a dynamic microphone, while the Baby Bottle SL is a condenser microphone. That means in order to record with the Baby Bottle, you will need to supply it with phantom power. While these microphones are great on their own, we will need a bit more gear to actually record with them. For my preamp, I'm using the Neve 511, which, yes, is a bit more of an expensive preamp than I should probably use for a test like this. But I spent all my money on the one preamp, so... Moving on, the interface I'm using is a Focusrite 18i20 version 3. To keep the comparisons fair, I used the exact same settings for each recording and turned off all extra features on the preamp and interface. Let's get on to the comparisons. The first recording is me singing a portion of SZA's Kill Bill into each microphone. Let's take a listen.
I just killed my ex, not my best idea. His new girlfriend's next, how'd I get here? I just killed my ex, not my best idea. His new girlfriend's next, how'd I get here?
Right off the bat, it's pretty easy to tell that the Baby Bottle SL has a much warmer and deeper tone than the 57. You can also tell that the SM57 is missing some of the high end when compared to the Blue. However, the Blue does have some extra resonant frequencies in the low end that will need to be tamed with an EQ. So, I would say that while the Blue Baby Bottle SL is a better option for recording vocals, the SM57 is also a solid backup choice, and may be a better option if you plan to go overboard on the effects. I'm looking at you, hyperpop artists. Wait, I used that joke already, crap. Moving on, we have a recording of an electric guitar through a few pedals, playing through a piano amplifier. Why not a guitar amp? I think I explained that already. Here, both of these recordings have desirable qualities. While the Blue Baby Bottle continues to bring that warm, rich resonance to its recordings that you'd want for an R&B or pop track, the lack of resonance from the SM57 actually works in its favor for a metal or a rock track. If I wanted to, I could pump the distortion hard on the SM57, and it would retain all of that distortion, potentially even adding to it. Something I just don't think you could get away with using the Baby Bottle. Next up, we have a recording of each mic set up around 3 inches away from a 12-inch kick drum. The first thing of note to me is that the warmth of the Blue Baby Bottle SL that was so nice on the vocals is actually working against the sound of the kick drum. It creates a boomy sound that doesn't retain quite enough of the transient to really hold the sound together, resulting in a muddy, undefined kick. The SM57, on the other hand, actually performs quite well here. The sound is definitely missing a little low end thanks to that missing 20 Hz to 40 Hz, but it captures the transient of the kick so well that you don't really notice. And finally, I have a recording of my GE accordion piano that I bought off an auction site for $20. No joke. I plan on bringing this back for the final recording each week, so let me know if there's a song you want me to play on it. After listening back, I actually think that the SM57 works much better for recording the accordion piano, because it is missing those higher frequencies. It cleans up those harmonics of the sound and doesn't let as much of the noise through. The extra harmonics that the Baby Bottle picks up distorts the sound slightly out of tune, as well as removes focus and clarity from the high end, something that I honestly was not expecting. So, after listening to all those recordings, I think that both of these microphones definitely have their place amongst a home studio. It really depends on what you're trying to record. Overall, the Shure SM57 is a good option for recording instruments like guitar and drums, as well as being a great, very reliable live microphone, while the Blue Baby Bottle SL is a great option for providing a rich, detailed sound that is well suited for recording vocals and acoustic instruments. So, to sum everything up, if you can afford to put a little more money into your microphone, you're going to see major improvements in quality. However, if you can't, a microphone that is a fourth of the price can give you everything you need as well. Plus, with all the virtual plugins out there today, it is easier than ever to improve the quality of sounds with the click of just a few buttons. Thank you all for watching. If you have ideas or suggestions for what kind of gear you want to see me compare next, leave it down in the comments. Or you can join our Discord to let us know directly, as well as interact with other talented independent artists and producers. The link will be in the bio. Again, I'm Logan Duvall, and I hope you've enjoyed.